I'll start off by repeating a phrase that has been used fairly often by this administration in different contexts, right? Which is economic security is national security. And so, one way in which we've sort of seen that in action is that, and this has already been true in the last, 2 months or so, and I think it's very likely what we're going to continue to see going forward, is that this administration is going to use and has been using international trade and national security laws like economic sanctions, export controls, tariffs, even potentially anti-corruption laws like the FCPA, and we can get into this a little bit more shortly. Um, and other laws to really drive this administration's foreign policy and national security agenda. And so, what does that mean for companies really all over the world? They're going to really need to find a way to stay on top of these issues, right? And I think the stock market is witness to this. These developments are really going to affect, companies' operations and their bottom lines. And it really used to be the case, I think maybe, a decade or so ago, perhaps, that these types of laws really only impacted a small minority of businesses, right, to some extent, maybe very large multinationals or companies that were operating in certain very high risk jurisdictions. And that's really changed. I mean, I think we've seen that changing really even under the past, administrations, as a result of an expansion of the scope and jurisdictional reach of some of these laws over the past, half a decade or so. But I think it's that fact coupled with how central these laws are really to driving this administration's agenda. I think it's really that fact that is going to make these laws sort of even more important for companies really all over the world to pay attention to them.